none of which I can remember, but it's wonderful to read about them, isn't it? And we're going to talk today about one of my favorite all-time songs, spirituals that we've sung forever, played on the piano. I come from a family of musicians as well, so we played it all the time. And this Wade in the Water, a traditional American Negro spiritual, which means its original author is unknown, symbolizes spiritual cleansing, transformation, and liberation rooted in both African American history and biblical tradition. The historical and cultural context of it. Wade in the Water, an African American spiritual created by enslaved people in the 1800s in the United States, but was first published in 1901 by the Fisk Jubilee Singers. Ella Shepherd, one of the original Fisk Jubilee singers, who also composed and arranged music, explained how slave songs were not part of the singer's repertoire at first because they were sacred to our parents, who used them in their religious worship and shouted over them. The shepherd said that it was only after many months that gradually our hearts were opened to the influence of these friends, and we began to appreciate the wonderful beauty and power of our songs. The song served multiple purposes. It was a form of religious expression, a source of hope, and a coded message for escaping slavery via the Underground Railroad. Water in this context symbolized both physical escape, as rivers and streams could hide tracks from slave catchers, and spiritual liberation, reflecting the dual meaning of faith and survival. The biblical and spiritual symbolism. The refrain in the song, "God's Gonna Trouble the Water," references John 5, verses 2 through 9, where troubled waters, or stirred waters, as used in most translations, are associated with healing and divine intervention. We read in John chapter 5, verses 2 through 9, and this is the authorized King James Version. "Now there is at Jerusalem by the sheep market a pool, which is called in the Hebrew tongue Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of impotent folk, of blind, halt, withered, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain season into the pool and troubled the water. Whosoever then first, after the troubling of the water, stepped in, was made whole of whatsoever disease he had. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lie, and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he said unto him, Wilt thou be made whole? The impotent man answered, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me. And Jesus said unto him, Rise, take up thy bed, and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed, and walked." So spiritually, wading in water represents baptism, purification, and renewal, inviting believers to cleanse themselves of sin and hardship while trusting in God's guidance. The act of wading also signifies transition and transformation, encouraging individuals to navigate life's challenges with faith and resilience. I say these are the themes of transformation and trust. Spiritually, wading in water embodies several key themes. Number 1, transformation. Moving through water symbolizes personal growth, letting go of old patterns, and embracing new opportunities. Number 2, cleansing. Water represents purification, washing away negative energy, emotional burdens, and spiritual impurities. Number 3, trust and guidance. Wading requires careful navigation reflecting the need to trust one's intuition and divine guidance during uncertain times. So beyond its historical role, Wade in the Water continues to inspire as a symbol of resilience, hope, and spiritual empowerment. It highlights the enduring power of music in African American culture to convey faith, resistance, and communal solidarity. The spiritual remains a reminder of the intertwined nature of faith, freedom, and personal transformation. And as we sing it, I know you know the chorus, so feel free to join in on the chorus anytime you choose.
God.